I did not think I would have to go back to doing a blog. I really think that I was doing good on my channel when it comes to my reviews and my commentary and my friends, but something happened that needed to be addressed, and I had to go back to my blogs because of that. Now, I thought that it was going to be, I first didn't feel like doing this blog because I made a promise that I wasn't going to do it again because I was focused on my mental therapy sessions and stuff. But you know what? Going back to it is not really a bad thing. In fact, me hearing the theme song again brought back a lot of good memories. Thanks to my friends making that theme song for me. I mean, how did y'all feel hearing that song again? I'm talking about the fans who was on my channel. I mean, isn't it good to have the theme song back? Exactly. Like I love that theme song. It brought back a lot of good memories. But there are some things that I need to talk about on this blog that needs to be addressed. It needs to be pointed out and exposed. And it is the problem with the feminist community. Now, for those who's watching that's in the feminist community, I'm not bashing. I'm not going to bash on you girls about the community and saying that the community needs to be, destroyed. It needs to be wiped out of the face of the earth. No, this is just points that needs to help you women in the community to make it better, because the way how like the steps that y'all taking now is not good. You women in the community are not looking good in all aspects, and not just in the men aspects, but just in other women's aspects as well. There's actually women that is not in the community, and they have actually good reasons for why they don't want to join the communities, because they said themselves that what they are doing in the feminist community is not supporting women. It is making women more fragile. It is making women less less sophisticated when it comes to dealing with certain things. And I have noticed this. And for those men who have, not just men in general, but just people, men and women both, who have just been trying to be nice to women, or just trying to express themselves, or just trying to lend a hand, and they ended up getting bashed or end up being a victim to the wrath of the feminist community. Y'all know what this video is about, and y'all know what's up. This is for the females who do these things, who does too much. Y'all need to calm the fuck down. Seriously, you women need to chill and relax. And I'm saying this because something happened to one of my friends that was very, very uncalled for, very ridiculous. And I want y'all to listen to this. This is very crazy. So one of my friends, he just started going to the gym recently, and he wasn't able to do it because of the COVID. And I was planning on going with him, but I was more focused on trying to get my channel refreshed and posting more videos as I can. So I was just trying to get my stuff situated first. So his second day on the gym, going to the gym or whatever, his name is John. John, if you're watching this, I'm sorry I took too long to make this video. I needed to wait a couple of days so I can get everything pointed out, so I can explain it the best way I can possible. So here you go. So John was at the gym, and he was on his way out after he was done with his daily workout. So as he was leaving, he got in the car, and he noticed right before he put his keys in the car, he noticed that there was a girl that was having problems starting her car up. He was saying that like he heard like the car wouldn't start. It was like like that. So what he did was he rolled his window down, and she noticed him because they was like across from each other. And then he asked her, he was like, "Do you need help?" And then she just stared at him. She didn't say anything at all. Now, he doesn't know this lady, and she doesn't know him. So he was like, you know what, maybe I should get out of the car and see what's going on. So he got out of the car, and he was heading towards her, and she was still looking at him. And he told me, he was like, James, like, check this out. Like, she was just staring at me like in an on guard type of way. Like, she was like very nervous, like as I was approaching her. So as he was walking towards her, and she rolled her window down, he asked her, like, look, like, are you having car problems? Like, do you need help? Like, I can call a tow truck for you if you want, or I can check the car. And then she acted very excited. She was like, no, and he was like, where, what? So he backed off. He backed off, and then after that, he just got in the car and just drove home. You would think that would be the end of the whole situation. And here's the thing, ladies: if you act like that towards a guy, first of all, there's no need for all that. If a guy is just trying to help, then just say, "Look, I'm not it." Why do I have to explain this? This is common sense. But you got women that would do this because they act a certain like it's how they visualize us, and that's a problem with the feminist community is that it's not just about women empowerment. I think it's the way how they visualize men. I think a lot of women in the feminist community hates men, but I'm gonna get to this in a second. But the next day, when he showed up at the gym, a security guard came up to John and he asked John, "Hey, look, are you John? Are you Jonathan Shaker?" And he was like, "Yeah." So the security guard told him, "Hey, look, we heard about what happened last night. Some girl approached us, and she was saying that you was harassing her and you was making her feel uncomfortable. So to prevent this from even to prevent this from going on even further, she talked to us about handling the situation, and we think it's best if we, remove your gym membership and you can go to another location." He was like, "What the fuck?" And when he told me this, I was like, "Wow, are you serious?" Like, without even investigating the situation, without even hearing his point of view, they're just gonna remove his membership without even you know what I'm saying? Like, not even hearing both sides. So John immediately got pissed off. He was like, "No, like I was trying to help the lady out. Like, where?" Because he was asking the security guard, like, "Where's the girl now? So we can talk about this, face to face while you're there." And he was like, "No, I don't think that's a good idea. I understand." And he was like, "No, you clearly don't understand because you know how these women can be when it comes to being over dramatic. Like, she was having car problems and I tried to see if she needed help. She doesn't know me. I don't know her. This is my second day in the gym, and all of a sudden this happens." So they was going back and forth, and he told me it was going to be at that point where his gym membership was going to be taken away. So what happened was a female heard the commotion. So he told me that the female got she ended up getting in between them, and she ended up talking to the security guard about what happened. And John told me he was actually scared. He was telling me that, he thought that she knew that woman and she was going to tell the security guard, yes, that he was harassing her, and it would have been game over for him. But no, she was actually on his side. She told him, she was like, "Look, like I was in the car too, and I was in the back, and I've heard the whole thing. She was having car problems. Her car would not start, and I was gonna get out of the car first." This is what the female was saying. So right before that, I noticed he was gonna get out of the car and help, but she just acted like she was acting so crazy. Like she just brushed him off and just yelled and just and then he just backed away. Like he didn't try to force her to try to offer him the help or whatever. No, like after that he was freaked out and he just got in the car and drove off. It's not his fault. Like she was just doing too much. So when the security guard heard her side of the story, then that was when he was like, "You know what? Okay, like, all right, we're gonna get to the bottom of this." And then John told the security guard, "There's no need to get to the bottom of this. Like, you can talk to the girl about it and see what was her problem and why she wanted to get my gym membership removed. But other than that, there's no reason for this action to be taken. She said no, she didn't need help, so that should have been the end of it. I left her alone at that point." So later on, they found out that she is involved in the feminist community. And and a lot of women in the feminist community do stuff like this. Like they act like they act they act just like this. Like they act so like when there's a man approaching them, they act like we're like the sanctity of the devil or whatever. Now, I haven't been through nothing like this, but I've heard stories, I read articles, I have, I've seen people talk about stuff like this, of just how women do too much when it comes to just brushing men off and just reporting them. Here's the thing: you don't need to do that. We men get it. We get it. We understand rejection. We understand when women, well, these are men that have common sense, right? But all I'm saying is report it when it's necessary. Report it when a man doesn't take no for an answer. Report it when a man is trying to play hard to get. Report it when you feel like you are in danger. There was no reason for her to have done what she did. She should have just said, no, I'm not interested, and just left it alone. Now, what happened to this girl was, after we found out she was involved in the feminist community, you know how gossip flows within the wind, right? What happened was people in the feminist community, I mean, not I'm sorry, I'm thinking about the gym. But anyway, people in the gym was begin like word was going out that this girl was the way she was. So not only security guards, but everybody else was not talking to this girl because they was cautious. Not just men, but women too. They was like, leave this girl alone. Like what happened between her and the guy or whatever, they don't want to have anything to do with her. And it wasn't really private because the way how loud she was in the parking lot, I'm pretty sure everybody that was leaving or coming in heard the situation. So it was easy for it to circulate. So she ended up feeling uncomfortable, and she ended up quitting. She ended up leaving. She ended up going to another gym or whatever, or she ended up not going to any gym. Period. But you see, the point that I'm making is that you women do too much to the point where it looks bad on both angles. Now, I know people now look, this is the part that pisses me off, right? Because I waited a whole week to do this whole video. I was going to do it as soon as I heard about it, but I needed to get my facts straight because when I heard about this, there was some women in the feminist community that was saying things like, it's not us. You need to talk to the women about this. It's not just a female community. Even the women that's not even in the female community is saying that it's saying that crap is crazy. They're saying that like that's not how things should be. It's the women that's in the female community that's doing stuff like this, that is going around and just attacking men for no reason, and all we're doing is just trying to be nice and just trying to lend a hand or whatever. The females in the female community is like, oh well, we're not, we don't got anything to do with this. Your whole community is fucked. You are going around making these false accusations, which is complete BS. And that's the reason why not just men want to support you, but women also, because they know what the community does now. It is emotionally weakening women to a certain extent. And then not only that, but the community itself is very emotionally unbalanced. Do y'all just recruit any women there? How does this whole community work? I have a question. Like that's the question there. Like, how does this community work? The reason I'm saying this is because there are so many communities out there that does way more of a better job than the feminist community. First of all, let's go back to the basics. When the feminist community was getting pushed, y'all started strong, talked about women empowerment, talk about independence, saying that women should be more in movies, women should be more outspoken, women should start voting more, women should start owning businesses. It had made it was pushing women off their feet to the point where not only should they rely on just men, but just have their own self-image to be themselves in the best way possible, be the best version of themselves. But now y'all lost y'all way. Y'all completely lost your way. Y'all was in a point where y'all want to be independent, but now y'all in a point where y'all saying, fuck men. And I'm not saying all women in the feminist community is like that, because there are some females in the feminist community that I'm pretty sure that it's not like that. But that raises my question. How are y'all recruiting these women? Is it like a sheet of paper or something? Do y'all go through interviews? Apparently not, because this is how emotionally unbalanced women can be. And it's not just about social media. It's just how manipulative women can be when it comes to visualizing certain things when it comes to dating men or being cool with a man, and then when something bad happens, they think that all men are the same way. You got women that hold grudges on that. You got women that would date a black man, get their heart broken by a black man, and say that all black men are the same way. Not just with just that race, but just that's just how women think. And then here comes the feminist community that would recruit these women that hold a grudge on these type of guys and then use that type of guilt against them. You see what I'm saying? That could have been the same situation with this girl at the gym. She didn't know John. John didn't know her. So for her to do this and know that the men, and here's the thing, men are stupid. Men can be simps. This is a security guard, and he was going to remove John's membership without even no further investigation. He just had to take her word for it without any witnesses. If it wasn't for that girl taking his side, it wouldn't have ended well. That's the reason. And I know it's going to go down to the point where men could be aggressive, men could be violent. And I get that. That's understandable. But you have to understand why men do these type of things to women. And I'm not saying I'm on their side, especially in Chicago. Women are dropping like dominoes. But sometimes you have to look at both sides. By me being a therapist, what can drive not just a man, but what could drive a person to that state where these type of things is not necessary? Because let's just face it, when somebody is trying to build something, when somebody is trying to build like an operation or a business or whatever, and stuff like this happens, false accusations, wrongly being accused, and then without any type of law judgment or whatever, like without any like court of law taking place, and then all of a sudden you just take it away from them, you don't think that that violence won't be necessary at that point? Like I said, I'm not saying that it's the right thing, but all I'm saying is for you women to just go around and just do stuff like this, it's not cool. If John would have had his gym membership taken away from him, he would have held a grudge on that woman. He would have had. Now, I'm not saying he would have went to violence. No, he wouldn't have done that. John is my best friend. He would not do that. But the way he would have visioned women would not be good. It wouldn't be. So that's what I'm saying. You got women that join these communities and they use that community as a shield to try to take down men as much as possible, even though we don't mind helping you women out. But all I'm saying is there needs to be morals. There needs to be standards when it comes to this community. When you join a feminist community, ask them questions. Why you want to join this community? What has happened? How do you visualize men? Because like I said, you got a lot of women that's in this community that hates men with a passion. You got a lot of women that's just like this one that I mentioned. And that's why it needs to be fixed. There's so many communities that is better than the feminist community now. Like the transgender community, the LGBTQ community. They are way better than the feminist community because they're not brushing nobody away. They're not making false accusations. Only time they make accusations is if they're feeling pressured, is if people are doing things to them that is pushing them to do that. I have gay friends. I have transsexual friends. So, and when I talk to them and how they being treated under pressure, they try to handle it, and they try to handle it in the most sophisticated way possible. It's even on the news. If you see how they are on the news and how women are on the news, it's a vast difference. And you would think that it would change. You would think that, no, I'm not saying that all gays and all of them are like that, because there are some that try to force homosexuality, saying that it should be like in politics and stuff, and just try to force it down our throats. Look, you got some that's going to think like that, but all I'm saying is the majority of the LGBTQ community is not like the females in the feminist community. The females in the feminist community are after men now. The people that's in the other communities don't do stuff like that. They try to find ways to have to make their community stronger. They try their best to try to get along with everybody so they can be accepted. You women, y'all don't do that on the feminist community. Y'all say fuck men and fuck anybody that supports men. How can you build if you trying to destroy at the same time? That doesn't make any sense. So that's why I'm saying there needs to be a change. There needs to be morals. Because try to go against when you try to go against us, it's not right. Especially with us black communities. We don't really got shit to begin with. So when you try to go out that route and try to take us down without even consulting the situation, you goddamn right we're gonna resort to try to do the same thing to you. So that's all I'm saying. You need to clean your sled. I'm not trying to say get rid of the whole feminist community. I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is this shit needs to stop. There's so many men that is victims to this shit that has had this happen to them. It ain't just John. There's a lot of men out there that I bet that has been through this and probably haven't been as lucky as he did. They probably got their jobs taken away from them, which is again what I'm saying. If there's something, just tell the guy that you don't want to help him. Just tell the guy, look, I got it. Leave me alone. Why y'all just can't be like black women? At least black women are more, they're more frontal. They can be brutal sometimes when it comes to their honesty, but we will get the message like, okay, all right, we'll leave her alone. But the ultimate fuck up thing that y'all should do is when you are feeling uncomfortable and you try to play nice and you don't want to hurt the guy's feelings because you like, I'm not interested, but I don't want to tell the guy I'm not interested. So the next thing you do is you tell a manager or you tell like a supervisor, and then now his job is in jeopardy. That's going to be worse because now he may not even work there anymore. Just tell the guy straight up so he can stop talking to you and both of y'all jobs can be saved. And I have a question. What's going to happen to the girl that left? I'm asking you women in the feminist community, what is going to happen to this woman that left? Yeah, she left because she didn't want to hear the backlash. She didn't want to hear people talking shit about her because of the way she handled the situation. But what is going to happen? Are y'all going to pull her to the side and be like, hey, look, like what happened? Like, what did you do? Are y'all going to tell her that shit isn't right? Because like I said, it's women like this that is making y'all community look bad. That's all I'm saying. Y'all need to put these girls in their place. It's not men, but the women in the feminist community. And just be honest with them. Be like, hey, look, like about what happened, that shit was not cool. If he wanted to help you out, then just tell him that you didn't want any help or whatever. That should have just been the end of the whole thing. Because when you go out of line and when you start reporting shit like this and there's no reason to report it, it comes back to the community and that type of shit looks bad on us. And that's what I'm saying. If you want people like us to keep supporting the feminist community, you need to stop attacking us unnecessarily. That shit was not called for. There's so many it's so many things that we try to support, but the way how it's handled is making us question, should we still be on the side of the whole thing? Same thing with cops. How they just killing innocents in the streets. You would think that there are like meetings and conferences in the police stations about this type of shit. Like, hey, look, like we need to stop this shit. It's hard to support cops now. It's really hard now. When I drive, and then when I get pulled over, I feel like I'm about to get killed. It shouldn't have to be like that. Same thing with the females in the feminist community. When a man sees a female, we get nervous. Sometimes you don't gotta do nothing. And then a female will just say something to you just so they can be nice, but then deep down they'll use that information and try to make you look bad so your job is in jeopardy. Like I said, men hatred. A man can't even be nice to a female anymore. A man can't even compliment a female anymore. without them thinking certain things. It is that bad. So I have a question. How can we support you if this is the route that you're taking? Cops, I have a question for you too. How can we support you if this is the route that you're taking? I'm not saying females kill people, but what I'm saying is females are attacking men that's in the feminist community for no fucking reason. Now my friend is a victim to this shit. He was going to do a video about it, but he wanted me to do it because, like I said, I'm not bashing, but he would have been doing that. Will it have been unnecessary? I don't think it would have been unnecessary because he's speaking out of anger. He has every right to have been mad. Yes, he got his job still. I mean, his career at the membership. I mean, at the gym, but that doesn't mean he can't complain about it because there's still women out there that's doing this. And then the girl that left, who knows? She might do it again. And then the guy that she's going to do that to, he might not be too lucky. So that's what I'm saying. You women in the feminist community, y'all need to put these girls on a leash because they're fucking dangerous, especially in this society. In the way how it handled, like the way how the thing handled with John and the security guard, it was basically his word against hers. She didn't have to have any proof at all. Just say that this guy is harassing him, and bam, his job, his membership is gone. Now, let's say if the tables have turned. Let's say if let's say if the whole thing shifted. Let's say if he was saying that she was harassing him, he would need every type of proof, every evidence. Who was there with you? What time did this happen? The cameras was off. Oh no! Well, if the cameras was off, then just ignore her. Again, this generation sucks as a man because we don't really got that much type of leeway like women do, especially for a black man. It sucks for a black man in this generation. It really does. That's what I was saying. When we try our best, knowing how hard this generation is for us, when we try our best to try to be successful, and we try to build and we try to thrive. This female was Hispanic, by the way. She was Mexican. Just point that out there. But we try our best to try to build, and we know that there are other communities that try to do the exact same way. We try to support them. But then when you do shit like this, and not only that, but when you try to attack what we trying to build, you don't think hatred comes with that? Exactly. So all I'm saying is, for the feminist community out there, this is for the people that's in charge. I keep saying the feminist community. This is for the people that's in charge of the feminist community. I don't know if it's like a middle-aged woman. I don't know if it's a homosexual woman. I don't know. But whoever y'all is, ask yourself this. Are y'all happy? Are y'all happy doing this? Because I know a lot of women that's in the feminist community and they act just like this woman. Go around trying to point out certain things, and then it's not really necessary. And then people put them down for that because they know that y'all doing too much. Like I said, if y'all point out harassment, that's fine. If y'all point out a man that is being too aggressive, that's fine. I would support the feminist community if that was the case because I have been through that. Not with a man, but dealing with somebody that cannot take no for an answer. Like I said, if y'all seen my video of just me dealing with my traumatic experience when I was 19, when I was dating, I'm going to post it on my video. But we need to talk about stuff like this so women can be aware of how things are when it comes to people being too attached. If there was women that was in the community that was saying stuff like this, I would not mind supporting it. I would not mind at all, because that would actually help women see the bigger picture of how to deal with things like this. But y'all just saying fuck men in all angles. And that's why I'm asking if y'all happy, because the way how y'all doing things, I can't see how y'all can enjoy yourselves. It's the same thing when people go to church all the time and they praise the Lord and they, like they go to church every Sunday. But I notice a lot of people that do that. I'm not saying all, but I notice a lot of people that go to church and stuff. They are the most miserable people. They swear all the time, but that's because they are approaching it for the wrong reasons. They are approaching church for the wrong reasons. They go to church because they have a problem and they think church is the solution. No, church is guidance. Church helps you visualize how to deal with certain things. But until you understand how life works, then it'll make sense to you. It's like I'm giving you a booklet of how to live your life. If you can't read it, how can you learn from it? So that's what I'm saying. You got women that's in the feminist community that is joining it because they hold grudges, because they are seeking guidance, and that guidance is trying to attack the men. So that's what I'm saying. I keep talking in circles, but I need to keep making these examples. You women that's in the community, that is leaders to this community, y'all need to ask these questions to these girls that are in this community or that is trying to join. Do a background check if y'all can. Why is she in this community? What is she trying to do? Because I guarantee you, if they are in this community because of these reasons, it's making our community look bad. You know it's bad if you got other women that's not supporting you, that's not supporting your community. If I'm having a black community, African American community, and there are blacks that's not joining my community, I would be shocked. I would be like, why? Unless there's something that I'm doing wrong, I would have to know why, so I can improve my community, so everybody in the African American culture can join. That's what you need to do, because right now your community sucks. I wasted too much time on this. My next video is going to be my reviews. I'm done with my blogs. But anyway, that's all I got to say. Get y'all community shit together. That's it. I'm out of here.